Today, I'm going to show you multiple remote jobs at Ross paying up to $33 per hour, as well as three other work from home jobs, including part or full time opportunities, some that have 20 days PTO and 9 holidays, and also some that have little experience required. Hey everyone, it's Suzanne, and today's first highlighted company is Ross. Now, Ross is a very reputable, well known company, and they do hire a lot of different remote opportunities. And so today I'm going to show you those remote jobs that are available as I am filming this video. I'm going to come over to this career page, and then once I'm done showing you how to find these, as these jobs can tend to expire, I'm going to walk through a couple of them that are open right now. So let's go ahead on the career page. Down here you see they have some filtering that you can do. I always like to find if they have a place where I can filter on remote jobs, and Ross does. Here under remote jobs, I'm going to click this box and then hit filter jobs, and that's going to open up everything that is open to work from home. So right now they have 7 positions open. They've got some human resources, they've got some finance, IT, some other manager positions. You can also join their talent network down below here by giving them your email address and letting them know what you're interested in. You can also get some job alerts when jobs come available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this representative in the human resources department. And what I like about this job is this is going to be more of an entry level job, which means that you're not necessarily going to have a lot of experience, whether it's in human resources or any department. So let me tell you a little bit about that. As a human resource representative, you're going to serve as a point of contact for HR services, talent acquisition coordination, and the primary contact to evaluate any criminal convictions in the background check process and provide hiring recommendations to the appropriate hiring manager. So you're going to support the Ross Stores background check screening process and responsible for researching and executing quality evaluation and resolution of a quote needs review background checks in compliance with applicable laws and company procedures. The HR rep is responsible for receiving, routing, and responding to inbound phone calls from store management, leaders out in the field, any corporate and distribution centers on matters related to support of the recruiting and onboarding process, assisting with locating HR policies and procedures, collect and disseminate information quickly, clearly, and accurately to the appropriate work group through the case management system, identify and escalate critical matters, identify priorities and problems requiring action and facilitating communication. And you're also going to partner with your manager to regularly review performance in delivering high level customer service. So great base pay range here. They are offering between $22.69 and $32.79, so almost $33 per hour. This is dependent, of course, on your experience, skills, qualifications, education, etc. But let's look at some other important things like the qualifications they're looking for. They're looking for someone who either has a bachelor's degree or higher. That is preferred. If you have a little bit of college, get that on your resume. If you have a little bit more admin experience, that may qualify in place of that bachelor's degree. If you do have a bachelor's degree, they're only requiring 1 to 3 years of experience. So just a little bit of experience needed here if you do have that bachelor's degree. They want someone who has Microsoft Office skills, including Word and Excel, be able to communicate clearly and effectively, attention to detail, handling confidential information, ability to meet or exceed service level expectations, and ability to apply general rules to specific problems to produce answers. All right, and the second remote position is with Humana Careers. Humana is also a healthcare company that does hire remote quite often, if not most positions. So in this position, you would be an appeals rep. It is a full-time, fully remote position, and it is in the admin and support services department. This is an appeals representative 4, which means that it's probably going to be someone who has a little bit more experience in this, but we'll take a look at those requirements. You would be managing level 1 appeal cases, ensuring accuracy, completeness, and compliance, review clinical documentation to support appeal determinations, coordinate with clinical teams and internal partners to finalize those outcomes, investigate and resolve member and provider issues, maintain high productivity and quality standards, ensure strict adherence to confidentiality and compliance regulations, independently prioritize and manage multiple high volume case assignments, and embrace change and support smooth transitions in work environment. So what do you need in this job? 1 or more years of grievance or appeals experience. So if you've had some claims experience with insurance claims, that would probably qualify. They want you to have strong data entry skills, 1 or more years with Outlook, Excel, Word, and Teams, and some additional preferred qualifications, an associate degree or some college or higher. If you have 2 years or more of grievance and appeals experience, that's even better. Some medical claims processing experience, previous inbound call center or customer service experience, experience with CAS and MedHawk, and inventory management experience. Those are all preferred qualifications, not required. This is a remote role and will provide coverage for the Eastern Time Zone hours. You don't have to live in the Eastern Time Zone, you just have to be able to work within their time zone. So they're going to provide full paid training virtually starting on day 1 of the employment. It's going to run between 6 and 8 weeks, so 6 to 8 weeks of fully paid training, and your schedule is going to be between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. So those first 8 weeks, you're not going to have to work any nights or weekends. And then after that, your hours are going to range between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can expect to work sometime between Sunday through the next Saturday. You have to be flexible and able to work a variety of shifts, including weekends. Availability to work Saturdays and Sundays may be required, depending on business needs. Candidates must be able to accommodate scheduled changes, and overtime and holiday work may be required, but typically they're going to pay you for that overtime and holidays. And pay range for this position is between $48,000 and $65,900 per year. That comes out to be about $32 per hour if you are on the higher end of the scale. You can also sign up for job alerts right over here, and they give you some similar jobs over here on the right hand side in case for some reason this job is already expired. You can check out some of these jobs over here. And the third company is Zillow. Zillow is always hiring for different remote roles, and I'm going to show you a couple of jobs that are open today. So I am on their career page, and what I have done here is I have filtered on everything that is open remotely. If you go to location, you're going to see I have checked anything that had remote here. They did have a remote position in Germany. They also have a position in Bengaluru, hopefully I said that right, and also Mexico City. So I get questions all the time on if I have any international remote openings. Zillow has a couple, and you may want to check them out from time to time if you are international and see if they have any new openings for you. So right now I'm just clicking on remote within the United States. Now, if it's remote USA, that means that they are open to remote from anywhere in the US, so you can live in any of the states. But if you are state specific, you can click on the remote positions that are listed under your state alone. You just have to live within that certain area, just in case your internet isn't working and you have to go into the office. So I have here a manager in the rentals collections department. Let's go ahead and take a look at this job lead. This is remote from anywhere in the US. It is a full-time position. We're going to take a look at this position so I can show you in the job lead how they have it set up and what to expect. First, they're going to tell you a little bit about this role. This person is going to lead a team of collections professionals. So probably someone who's had experience over collecting on past due accounts receivables, any payments that need to be collected. This is going to be more of a leadership role for someone who has been over a high performing collections team. It's going to include account management, escalation handling, status updates, and quality control. And what's nice is it gives you a couple of different pay ranges here depending on the state that you are logging on from. So for instance, if you live in California or one of these other states, the pay range is between $77,000 and $123,000. If you live in, say, Colorado and these other states listed behind it, the pay range is going to be between $73,000 and $117,000. So if you live in one of those higher priced areas or states, they're going to offer you more compensation to compensate for the fact that you have a higher cost of living. And then they're going to tell you what they're looking for in terms of experience and education. For instance, this one, they want you to have 6 years of experience in business to business credit and collections and at least 2 years leading teams or team lead. So primarily a leadership type role here over the collections department. Now, if that is above your pay grade and you want one that requires a little bit less experience, this is a part-time position that is a leave of absence specialist. So this is going to be in your human resources department. It's fully remote within the US. And as a leave of absence specialist, You're going to report to the benefits director and serve as a subject matter expert in complex case management and American Disability Association compliance. You will work closely with the leave of absence and disability vendor, HRBPs, managers, and people to ensure that leave cases are handled accurately with care and in compliance with multiple states. Key responsibilities: you're going to manage complex and escalated leave of absence cases, support the ADA interactive process, coordinate stay at work and return to work accommodations, respond to multi state inquiries, ensure claims, pay, and job protection align with the policy and the law, partner with HR, BPs, and managers to help them navigate leave processes, escalate systematic issues, discrepancies, or compliance risks to the leave program manager, accompanied by your documented findings. So, again, they have these two different salary ranges, which ultimately is going to be somewhere between $38 per hour and $63.80 per hour. Now, what they're looking for: someone who's customer obsessed, grounded and trustworthy, able to adapt quickly with the laws, vendors, or priorities, someone who likes to collaborate with other members of the team, effective in Cloud HQ, someone who thrives in a remote environment. They want you to have 4 years of experience in some sort of leave of absence administration with a focus on complex case management, knowledge of FMLA and other multi-state paid leave laws, experience with ADA interactive processes, managing day-to-day leave of absence vendor relationships, having some Workday HRIS experience, excellent written and verbal communication, comfortable working with autonomy in a fast-paced environment, and this is a part-time role of approximately 19 hours per week and is not eligible for benefits. Now, keep in mind, if this role is perfect for you, starting in a part-time position, you may have the ability to move up into a full-time position. So if that is something that you would be open to, that's definitely a possibility, as a lot of times these companies like to see how you do in the job first, and then if you do a good job, they'll hire you or promote you from within. And the last remote position is a full-time remote customer service position. It is a patient care assistant 1. This is going to be an entry-level position with just a little bit of experience required, and it is with the company Lumicera. They're going to pay $20 per hour starting, and the work schedule is going to be between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. And due to the growth of their company, they are adding a patient care assistant to the team. You'd be primarily focusing on answering and placing phone calls with a warm and professional greeting with the patient's prescribers and insurance companies. You're going to gather relevant information for the prescription fulfillment process, and you have to be able to collect data, establish facts, draw conclusions, and identify and solve problems. So, main responsibilities: accept inbound calls from those patients, prescribers, and other healthcare professionals. Maybe make some outbound calls to patients as needed. Utilize operating systems and tools to help manage patient therapy and refill compliance. Assist in answering those incoming calls and triage calls to a licensed healthcare associate when needed, and act in accordance with all applicable federal and state laws with the highest ethical standards. So, what are they looking for from you? Someone who has a high school diploma. Minimum of 1 year of customer service experience is preferred. So, possibly if you don't have any experience, they might be open to interviewing you if they feel like you are a good fit otherwise. If you do have that 1 to 2 years of preferred experience, make sure to get that on your resume. Experience in a pharmacy or healthcare environment is preferred. Be able to participate and support compliance program objectives, able to consistently interact cooperatively and respectfully with your other employees. And some of the benefits: they have a couple of really good ones. Of course, they have your usual health, dental, vision, but they also have 20 days of paid time off and 9 paid holidays. So almost 30 days off per year, which is great. They're also going to give you a 401k company matched up to 5%. All right, well, if you're interested in any of these jobs, I am going to put the instructions to apply down below in the description. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment this emoji. Otherwise, I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video.